George and Chloe's Marathon. In a rural town, there lived George, a former marathon runner, and his kitten, Chloe. George made a living by working part-time at a café every day. Although George enjoyed his work at the café, he was a bit concerned about not being able to save money. One day, while watching the news on the café's TV, George learned that a local marathon was going to be held. The winner of the marathon would receive a $1 million prize. George decided to participate in the marathon to improve his life with Chloe. When he got home and told Chloe, she seemed to cheer him on. From that day, George began training in the park. Thanks to the training, George's physical strength improved. Finally, on the day of the marathon, George demonstrated the results of his daily training and steadily improved his position. He overtook many other runners one by one. However, in the middle of the marathon, George suddenly remembered something important. Because it was the day of the marathon, George was nervous and had forgotten to feed Chloe, who was waiting for him at home. The image of Chloe's sad face came to mind, and without hesitating, he decided to rush back home, even if it meant giving up the chance to win. When he got home, Chloe was there waiting for him. George quickly prepared her food, and while feeding her, he turned on the TV. At that moment, an astonishing news story aired. A hurricane had suddenly hit near the marathon's finish line, and the finish line was being moved closer to his house. George hugged Chloe tightly and headed out of the house toward the new finish line. Holding Chloe securely, George sprinted with all his might and finally crossed the finish line. As they finished, George and Chloe were met with loud cheers from the crowd, and they shared the joy of victory together. For George, the happiness of his beloved Chloe was more important than winning the marathon. Along with the glory of victory, George felt that the bond with Chloe had deepened even further. And they now had a bit more financial security as well.